Please mention in the chat box. So today's topic is proteins. Those who have the textbook, it's on page number 66 onwards. Page number 66 onwards. Chapter 5, proteins. So proteins, dietary proteins, they also give you energy, but the main focus of dietary proteins is to maintain your body for growth, maintenance, and repair. Okay, these are the main three functions that proteins have to do within your body. 50% of the protein in a human body is found in our muscles. 20% of it is in the bones, and 10% of it will be found in the skin. And the rest is present in the other parts of your body, even inside your blood. Okay. So if you see the chemical composition of protein, it has this amino group that has nitrogen. Okay. Protein is the only macronutrient that has nitrogen. Neither carbohydrates nor fats have nitrogen. Okay. So this is what makes protein different. And it is synthesized from amino acid molecules. There are essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids. They come in different composition. Okay. So based on that, how many what the length of the carbon structure. Okay. What other oxyl group is there? Side chain is there? How many amino groups are there? Based on that, protein is made. Okay. There are 20 different amino acids. 10 of them is essential, 10 is non-essential, that is required in protein synthesis. Okay. Amino acids, they come in different combination. Okay. So that will make a specific type of protein. So amino acids, understand them as a building block. Okay. Amino acids are like the bricks, and the protein is entire structure. It's the entire building structure, and amino acids are the bricks. Okay. For a 4-story building, you will require more bricks. For a single-story building, you will require less number of bricks. But bricks are required. Without amino acids, protein cannot be formed. Okay. Protein contains nitrogen. That is what is the amino group, nitrogen. You can see here N. If this is what protein, every protein molecule will have a nitrogen amino group. Okay. So protein is a source of nitrogen as well for your body. Coming to the properties of protein, it's amphoteric in nature, which means they can act as both acids and bases. Okay. Proteins also have electric charges, and they can change the charge. Okay. For the pH, when the pH shifts in the body, the protein can play an important role in bringing back the pH to normal. Okay, if the blood is getting too acidic, the more basic nature of the protein will take over. If the blood is getting more alkaline, the more acidic nature of the protein will take over. So it can act both as acid and base. So that is amphoteric nature. Okay. Then solubility. So albumins are the proteins that are soluble in water, and all the other type of proteins, they can only be dissolved in salt water. Okay. Proteins do not get dissolved in water except for albumins. Albumins are the only protein that can get dissolved in water. All the other proteins require salt concentration for dissolution. Okay. Then colloidal in nature. So proteins are large molecules. They have large molecular weight, and they don't allow like any simple small particles to pass through them. Okay, and also proteins will not just simply move to and fro through the cells. It is very difficult for the protein to escape from the cells. Okay, so they when you put protein in any form of protein, when you put it into water, there is an opacity that forms. Okay, and you look into a glass of water, you put any type of protein into it, it will colloid, it will form a dispersion. Okay, it will the light will not pass translucently through the water. Like put an egg in the water and see how it becomes cloudy. Okay, that is colloidal nature of protein, because protein has large molecules, and because of this they will not escape from the cells. Okay, and wherever there is a very tiny opening, the proteins cannot escape through that. Okay, proteins will remain intact, the cells, because they have large molecules, and the permeability of the cells will not allow them to move in and out of the cells as and when required. Okay, and therefore it is when you see protein in urine, it means it is abnormal. Okay, the kidney cells will not allow, the healthy normal kidney cells will not allow the protein to go into the urine. Okay, it will not allow the protein to pass through the cells and go into the urine. But if it has happened, means protein is there in the urine, means something wrong is happening. Okay, something unhealthy is there underlying. So the types of protein, you have simple proteins, conjugated and derived proteins. Okay. So simple proteins, either they are globular or scleroproteins. Scleroproteins, these proteins are actually found inside your body, simple proteins. Okay. Albumins, globins, glutens, prolamines, histones, globins, protamines, these are found in your body. Scleroproteins also, collagen, elastin, keratin that you have in your body. Collagen under your skin. Okay. Elastin also, it holds different cells together. It gives the elasticity. Keratin is a protein that is found in your nails, in your hair. Okay. So these are the simple proteins. Out of that, the globular proteins, albumin is the only one that is soluble in water. All the other ones are soluble in salt solutions only. And scleroprotein, how is they different? Uh, your digestive enzymes cannot break them down. Okay, like collagen, elastin, and keratin. Your enzymes in your body, digestive enzymes, will not break them down. Globular proteins can break down with your digestive enzymes. Okay. So wherever albumins, it's found in human being, it is found in your blood. Okay. In other organisms, like if you say egg and all, egg has albumin. Okay. Milk also has albumin, lactalbumin. Histones are nucleoprotein. They are found inside your nucleus, helps in the formation of DNA, RNA, and all. Then coming to conjugated proteins, there is an element apart from the normal carboxyl group or amino group. Okay, there is an extra element that is attached to this protein molecule. Okay, like nucleoprotein, chromosomes are attached there. Okay, they are found in the they are found in the genome study and all. So nucleic acids, either deoxyribonucleic acids or ribonucleic acid. Okay. If ribonucleic acid is present, it is RNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid is present means it is a structure from DNA. So that is nucleoprotein. Glycoprotein will have glucose. Okay. An element of glucose that is attached to the protein. That is glycoprotein. Mucoprotein, it has mucopolysaccharide, a part of something very similar that forms the mucous membranes in your body. Lipoprotein has lipid. Lipo is lipid. Okay, so a fat content is a fat element substance is added to this protein. That is lipoproteins. Phosphoproteins, phosphorus is added into the protein structure. And phosphoproteins you will find that in the cell wall. Also casein, that is a milk protein that also has phosphoprotein. Metalloprotein, any form of metal that is attached to the protein. It could be iron, okay, like ferritin, transferrin. These are proteins but with iron, okay. Transferrin is a protein which can carry iron and move it throughout the blood. So that is the combination of protein and a metal. So that is metalloproteins. Chromoprotein, it has color, okay. Hemoglobin, for example, hemoglobin is the red pigment. Okay, it's because of hemoglobin your blood is red in color. Okay, and hemoglobin, what it is? Again, it is a protein. It has heme, okay, which is iron, and it has a pigment that is color. So it is chromoprotein as well. Okay, so these are the conjugated types of protein present in your body. Then derived protein, coagulated protein, proteins, metaprotein. These are the different types. Metaprotein is what if you have a protein rich diet, okay, that is getting broken down in your body, okay, and something else will be created out of that amino acids. Protein is made up of amino acid. Any protein source that you eat, even in the form of protein powders, eggs, milk, chicken breast, or whatever is your source of protein that you eat, eventually it will go into your body. Digestive enzymes will break down it, okay, take the amino acids and form something else, okay, form a different type of protein out of that amino acid. That is derived protein, okay. So coagulated protein is like coagulated egg whites and also your platelets that help in coagulation, okay, when you get hurt, the blood coagulation takes place. So that is also a an example of how coagulated proteins work. Okay. Metaproteins, you get that after the protein has been treated with any strong acid in your stomach, like hydrochloric acid and enzymes. When they work on a protein, break it down and create something else, you call it metaproteins. Peptides also, peptides, peptones, polypeptides, these all are hydrolyzed protein. Okay. Usually, if you have collagen supplements and all, these are hydrolyzed. Why? They have already been broken down artificially so that it's easy for your body to absorb. Okay. The initial stage of breakdown is been done artificially out in the industry so that what you receive is not protein, it is a derived form, that is peptides or polypeptides, which have been acted on with an enzyme or an acid. Okay, so it is much easier for very easy for your body to use it. So these are the different classification of protein. Is it clear to all? Coming to nutritional classification, you have complete protein. So complete proteins, they have all the 10 essential amino acids. As I mentioned, there are 20 amino acids, 10 essential, 10 non-essential. Okay. When do we call a protein source complete protein? If you remember, these amino acids are building blocks. Okay. They are the blocks that form a protein structure. And any protein structure that has all these essential 10 amino acid blocks, you call it a complete protein. Okay. So egg albumin, milk casein, these all are complete protein because exactly in the amount how the human body requires it and the how human body wants it, the essential amino acids is arranged in exactly that manner in the egg albumin and milk casein. So we call this as complete protein. Okay. As and how a human body requires protein and amino acids for good growth and maintenance, egg albumin and milk casein have it. Okay. Then partially incomplete proteins. So they also have essential amino acids, but not all the 10 ones. Okay. Maybe they have 7 or 8 or 6 essential amino acids. They lack 2 or 3 amino acids. Okay. So they are partially incomplete. So the amino acids that they don't have, we call it as limiting amino acids. Okay. So they are also essential for growth. They give you moderate growth. Okay. Like wheat proteins, rice proteins and all, legumes. So they give you optimal amount of growth, but it's not as good as the complete protein. And then you have incomplete protein. They lack a lot of amino acids. They may have 2 3 amino acids. That's it. Okay. Majority of the essential amino acids they lack. That is incomplete proteins. And they don't give you any growth promotion. For example, gelatin and zein. Okay. And coming to the nutritional classification of amino acids, what we discussed right now is protein, classification of protein, complete protein, incomplete protein, okay, partially complete protein. Now this is amino acids, okay, classification of amino acids. So when you have two main classification: essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids, and partially essential amino acids. Okay, there is one more classification. So in essential or indispensable amino acids, it cannot be synthesized by the human body. You have to take it through diet. Okay, like valine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan. These are the essential amino acids which cannot be synthesized in the body. Your body cannot make it. You have to depend on a good diet for these. Okay. So this should be there in your diet on a daily basis. Semi-essential amino acids, they are growth promoters. It is not synthesized in adequate amount in the human body. Okay. And usually some of it is required by infants during in the infancy stage. But when they grow up, like histidine, okay, when infants grow up, it is no longer required. Okay, so it becomes non-essential amino acid. But during the infancy stage, when a child is an infant, okay, at that time, the child, when it is dependent on breast milk and all, at that time, it is an essential amino acids, but when they grow up, it is non-essential. So that becomes semi-essential amino acids. Okay. As and when the body shifts, the body's capability shifts, it becomes non-essential. Then you have non-essential amino acids or dispensable amino acids not required in your diet on a daily basis. Okay, your body is capable enough to make it on its own. So on a daily basis in your diet, you don't require glycine, alanine, serine, cysteine, asparagine, glutamine, tyrosine, proline. Okay, these are the non-essential amino acids. Your body can make it well enough. Okay, so you don't have to depend on a specific diet for this. Coming to the functions of proteins, growth and maintenance, especially during infancy, childhood. The main role of protein in a child's diet is for growth and maintenance. After you become an adult, and also in late teens, the function shifts to more like maintenance and repair. Still, growth is there. It will keep you youthful. Okay, but major work of protein will be in maintenance and repair. Sir. So the entire structural framework of your even bones, teeth, okay, it's made up of protein molecules. So protein is required in your diet. Specifically, once you become an adult, then you have to focus on protein intake so that your collagen structure remains intact. Okay, that is also a main protein. Then formation of essential body components like hormones, okay, insulin, gastrin, growth hormone, epinephrine, that is derived from your adrenal gland, tyrosine, okay, glycoproteins. To make all these essential body components, lipoproteins, okay, protein is required. Okay, so protein also plays an important role in creating all these essential body components. Okay, being a part of it. Some of the amino acids that the protein gives off after breakdown is used for all these formation. Then transport of nutrients, specifically transferrin, lipoprotein, okay? They help in moving the nutrients around the body. Lipoprotein will help in the movement of lipids, fat. Transferrin will help in the movement of iron. Hemoglobin is also a protein that helps in the transportation of oxygen, okay, like that. Then regulation of water balance, because proteins are quite large in its structure. Okay, they will not invade the space between the cells. Okay, they maintain, because of their structure, they maintain the fluid capacity in and around the cells. That's how it creates a water balance. Okay, inside the cells, how much, or like based through the osmosis. Okay, uh, fluid is divided into intracellular fluid, extracellular fluid, intercellular fluid, and all. So the amount of fluid that should be present in all these areas, the protein molecules that ensure it, okay, because protein molecules are too large in its size. So from the blood vessels, protein molecules will not ooze out and create stagnancy, okay. It creates a hydrostatic pressure within the blood vessels that the fluid will remain where it is supposed to, okay, without moving around much. Then maintenance of pH. As I mentioned earlier, protein is amphoteric in nature. It acts as both acid and base. Okay, so it can create a proper pH balance in your body whenever there is a slight shift in the shift towards abnormal pH. The protein molecules can bring it back to normalcy. Then defense and detoxification. That is also the body's ability to fight off any infection depending on the immune system. Immunoglobulins are produced because of proteins. So anywhere where you hear the term globins, protein is present there. Okay, so to produce immunoglobulins, proteins are required. To produce certain enzymes, proteins are required. That helps in the defense system and the detoxification of the toxins from the body. Energy, not the main function of protein, but still 1 gram of protein can give you 4 kilocalories of energy. Okay. Just like carbohydrates. But when carbohydrate is inadequate, only then, am I audible? Am I audible to all? Okay. Network issues will be rising slowly, okay, because there are heavy rainfalls going on. Okay. If there is a lot of glitch, I'll let you know. We'll close the session, okay? We'll not drag it too much. Specific function of amino acids, you can just read through it. Okay, no need to by heart anything. Just read through it. There are 10 essential amino acids. What exactly is their function? Just read through it. Okay. Much questions will not come for the specific functions of essential amino acids. Then coming to the digestion and absorption. In the mouth, there is no digestion that takes place. Protein cannot be digested in the mouth. Salivary enzymes are not strong enough. Okay. So after the mouth, when the food reaches the stomach, gastric digestion does help in hydrolyzing the proteins. Okay. Like the hydrochloric acid that is present in the stomach, pepsin, okay, they will break down the protein. They will denature the protein, hydrolyze the protein. Hydrolyze means removal of the water content from the protein. Okay, that will take place in the stomach. So that is the first step. So in gastric digestion, proteolytic enzyme that is present in your gastric juice, that is pepsin and hydrochloric acid. The presence of these two is adequate to hydrolyze the protein. The peptic bonds and all of the protein will be broken down. So it is easier for the intestines to work on it and absorb the amino acids. Okay, peptic bonds have to be broken. Then proteolysis will take place in the intestine. Trypsin, chymotrypsin. Okay, these are the enzymes that will usually hydrolyze even more peptide linkages. Okay, carboxypeptidase, these are the enzymes that are present in the intestine. They will also have the action on amino acids, break down the amino acids, release amino acids so that intestine can take it up. Okay. Intestine cannot absorb protein. Intestine can only absorb free amino acids. Okay. So breaking it down, breaking the bonds of the protein one by one and freeing amino acids as much as possible so that intestine can pick it up. That is the main function here in intestine. Okay. The proteolysis function. Then absorption of amino acids. So that takes place in the intestine. Here, energy is required. So this is why if you are on a weight loss journey and all, when we say you have to increase your protein intake, this is where the energy will be burnt. Okay. Once the proteolysis and everything is done, now it is intestine's time to absorb the amino acid. Here, the intestine will exert a lot of energy for this work to be done. Okay. All the small peptides and free amino acids that now the intestine has to absorb it inside it, energy will be utilized. Okay. So that's how the weight loss also takes place because energy is being burnt to break down and absorb proteins. Okay. The pathway is also very similar to sodium and glucose absorption when it comes to amino acid absorption. And in the presence of salt, it is much more easy. That is the presence of sodium, the amino acid absorption becomes easier. Then coming to the digestibility of proteins. So that varies from food to food. We will discuss that in the coming up classes. There are different digestibility score. In detail, we will have to discuss all those scores. Okay. So digestibility of protein is if you have egg, the way how your body breaks down egg protein absorbs the amino acids. Okay. And if you have pasta, how your body breaks it down absorbs the amino acid. Digestibility is completely different. Okay. The way how your body will digest, break down egg proteins and use up the amino acids, and how it will break down pasta protein and use up the amino acids, it's completely different. Okay. The pathway is the same, but the way how your intestine can absorb the amino acids from these two different protein sources are different. Okay. So the digestibility scores are given to understand what is the best possible protein for human utilization. Okay. For example, when it comes to legumes, okay, 80% of the legumes are getting digested, but only out of that 80% that is getting digested, 50-60% of the amino acid can be utilized, can be absorbed. Eggs usually are completely digestible. 90% of the times, animal proteins are more easily digested and absorbed as compared to plant proteins. Okay, whenever you have animal protein, you can be sure that the amino acid which is present here, essential amino acids present in any animal protein, 90% of the time, most of it will be absorbed by the intestine as compared to plant proteins. Okay. So protein, it breaks down, becomes amino acids, okay, is synthesized and made into a different type of protein in your body. So protein is made up of amino acids, it breaks down and forms another form of protein. Okay. So free amino acids, the broken down amino acids will release carbon dioxide. Okay. And 20% of it will undergo, why it will release carbon dioxide? It is getting burned. Okay. 20% of the free amino acids will undergo oxidation. It will give out carbon dioxide. Okay. 80% of the amino acids will not be burnt, it will be synthesized, because the body requires these amino acids, these blocks, in its original form, so that it can create some other kind of protein within the body. Okay, like lipoprotein, glycoprotein, transferrin, albumin. Okay, immunoglobulins. There are so many proteins that your body is supposed to make from this free amino acids. Only 20% of it will burn and give carbon dioxide. It will give energy after oxidation. 80% will not give energy. It will be used up for maintenance, repair, growth. Okay. Factors affecting protein utilization, amino acid balance. Okay. If there are a certain type of amino acids which is too much, it will reduce the nutrition value. Okay. In any type of protein source, if, for example, let's say lysine, if the protein source has too much of lysine, okay, the complete nutritional value of that protein will go down. Okay, so the best form of protein is the one in which almost all of the essential amino acids are equally distributed. Okay, neither one or two is too high. Okay. That is the reason why kids, for children, um, different age groups have different requirements of amino acids. In a child's age group, during infancy and preschool time, school time, okay, the child's body requires a lot of casein from milk. Okay. um, Methionine from milk, casein from milk. So milk should be a major part of the child's food intake. Okay, but once it grows up, then the requirement is not there much. They can shift to maintenance and repair. So eggs, meat, plant-based sources of protein, you can shift into that. You don't require milk after certain age. Okay, so based on the age, the essential amino acid requirement is high. So drink that particular or eat that particular food which will give you that particular essential amino acids. Okay, so that is the amino acid balance. So that's why young children can digest and absorb milk very easily, but once you grow up, majority of you will become lactose intolerant. Okay, because you don't require that specific amino acid in abundance. Okay, then calorie intake. When calorie intake goes down, protein will be used as a source of energy. Okay, when you don't take enough amount of calories, your body still requires energy. Okay, if it is not getting the energy from carbohydrates and fat enough, it will break down the protein for energy. Immobility, people who are immobilized, maybe because of they are in coma, or they have undergone fracture, they have just done a major surgery, they have to be on bed rest. Okay, so they are immobile, they can't move much. So that can also break down the protein. Okay, people who are bedridden, they a lot of protein mass from the lean muscles will be lost. Okay. Then injury, any form of injury, any form of cut, even if it is surgical injury that is made precisely and purposefully, a surgical incision that is made, that is also an injury. Even from there, nitrogen loss is there. Okay, so you cannot prevent nitrogen loss through that. High protein intake before and after the injury will not prevent the nitrogen loss. Okay, if you are injured, nitrogen loss will be there from that injury. But if your protein intake is good, healing will happen rapidly after the injury. Then emotional stability, if you are going through some episodes like stress, fever, anxiety, anger, okay, a lot of epinephrine will be secreted by your adrenal gland. And to make epinephrine, more protein is also required. So if your body is constantly in a stage of stress, anxiety, fear, okay, your day-to-day life contains a lot of stress, anxiety, fear, your protein loss will happen naturally because the protein is getting utilized for making more epinephrine, adrenal hormone. Okay. So that's why students lose a lot of nitrogen during stress for exams. Night shift workers, people who work in extreme weather conditions, okay, when you have jet lag and all, a lot of protein will be lost from your body. Okay. So the next part of the chapter we will do in the next session.